Globalization affects our economy is that if Canada companies are hiring foreign workers, there are going to be fewer jobs in Canada. The fewer jobs will mean a citizen will have a minimum wage payment. Globalization has stronger effects on richer countries than the poor countries. Businesses are now freely to find in richest country because there are a lot of products are imported from poor countries. We have Canadian companies providing financial and insurance and our goods and services to operate the global market. Also, we work around the world for our business to operate internationally. That means more money becomes it's all around the world. For example, brand companies like Nike have their business almost in every country, and now they are $1 million corporation. Nike have asked to get the customer to get intention of the product, and sometimes they add things to the product in the ad, but really it's not in the real product, and that is called marketability. A way to make the business better. The business affect our environment is when we extract our natural gases, use that for business, and we use fossil fuel for everything like car fuel, also electricity. Also, big companies that do sell fossil fuel is very cheap for them to extract from our earth and use it for our car fuel. Companies of fossil fuel know that it's far for the environment, but they don't care and still use it for cheap benefits for our environment. So, so this is showing the mind map of globalization. So brands show like how companies can show business by making brands, and they can make money about it. And there are different type of culture in every organization that could show. Free trades are mostly with our neighbors, like our NAFI trades that could show our Americans country.
Questions. Business. How will globalization affect growing businesses, good or bad? Globalization is good for growing businesses because when trading with different customers, it gives a chance to growing businesses to expand on their types of customers, thus making them more money and making their business well known. But it can also be bad because it can mean no business for other companies in that area. Social. Will society appreciate the inclusion of different companies? Society will probably appreciate the inclusion of different countries' companies because there will be more variety when they're buying goods from stores. Environment. How will globalization impact the environment? Globalization will affect the environment negatively because with globalization, more businesses from different parts of the world will be built in other countries, taking away room for animals and plants, and also there will be factories. This will cause pollution.
Export, international, import, interconnected, global village, multicultural, trade, interdependent, culturalist, urbanization, gross domestic product, Americanization, multinational corporations, borderless world. Well, effects on globalization. Well, globalization has various impacts, socially, economically, and environmentally. Environmental impacts of globalization. Globalization has had a positive impact on the environment to some extent, but there are still some crucial negative impacts of globalization in play. The negative impacts are mainly export-oriented destruction on the environment, while the positive impacts are increased awareness and multinational corporations, research into eco-friendly technology. Even though this shouldn't matter to business corporations, as they still make profit, but this still affects the environment. The main positive impact that globalization has on the environment are that there is improvements in the use of resources and awareness, and that due to globalization research is being conducted that produces green technology which is environmentally friendly. Socially, globalization has very strong social impacts. Communication is made a whole lot easier. Social media makes globalization a lot easier. Globalization makes it possible to have a place to consist of multiple cultures. Well, this proves that the world is interconnected, multicultural, or cultureless, and it's sort of like a global village. Economically, well, there has been a drastic increase in trading between nations worldwide. Trade, imports, exports. Transportation has been made a lot easier. This makes trade overseas easy. Countries import and export from other countries across the world. Economic globalization has been occurring since the last several hundred years. However, it has been occurring at an increased rate in the past century due to multinational corporations.
Economics. So first of all, what is economics? Economics is something got to do with the economic demand for the product. So globalization can be viewed as either positive or negative toward the economics of the businesses. Current globalization trend can be largely accounted for developed economics. In the other hand, developing economy would be less accounted for because of the reduction of the trade barriers and lack of development overall. Means that it's harder to trade because of transportation effectiveness. So businesses impacted by globalization, social point of view. So part of the problem of globalization business is that the customers want the cheaper, more widely available goods, but may not like the borders economic condition under which they are produced from. That's why Canada has a policy of using trade fees and having that limit imports from those types of businesses, mainly because of sweatshops. Businesses impacted by globalization, environmental point of view. So most businesses that are being impacted by globalization are already being impacted by other means, and there's less worry is for the environment because that means working harder and spending more to make any product more environmentally friendly.
So, what are some solutions for globalization? Globalization has five main negative effects on it. One is natural gases that people use to sell the economy's stability and social conflicts like that. So, including the cost of pollution, we can stop the natural resources to be used. So people are stop gonna use pollution. There is gonna be less pollution. Fourth reason is the very large groups which needs to help, such as groups living under poverty lines like children, women, and old ages. Third reason is preparing the release of negative effects of free trade and investing the agreement.
This is the end of our paper slide. This was globalization through the perspective of business corporations.